It's 3 a.m. You wake up to check your phone. No signal. You try to load your social media apps and nothing loads. You check your Wi-Fi. It's connected, but nothing works. You look outside and your neighbor's lights are on. Power's fine, but the internet? Gone. You turn on the TV. Every news channel is in chaos, and no one knows why. No one knows how to fix it. And slowly, people start to realize it might not come back. And if it disappeared forever, society would collapse in ways you can't imagine. I'm Joe, and today, I'm explaining exactly what would happen if the internet shut down forever. Let's start the clock. The internet goes offline at 3 a.m. Here's what happens in the first hour. In the first 5 minutes, confusion starts. Most people are asleep. But millions like night shift workers, gamers, insomniacs, scrolling TikTok, they're the first to notice. At first, everyone assumes it's just them. My Wi-Fi must be down. They restart their router, or they check their phone data, and nothing works. That's when the panic starts to creep in. But wait, it gets worse. Because within 15 minutes, emergency services start to realize they have a serious problem. People start calling each other. Phone calls still work, for now, because cell networks have some independence from the internet. But texting, that uses internet, would be dead. Social media is gone. You can't tweet, "Is the internet down for anyone else?" Because Twitter is the internet. Around the 15-minute mark, emergency services panic. Some emergency dispatch centers rely on internet-connected systems. 911 calls start flooding in, but dispatchers can't access digital maps, can't coordinate with GPS, and can't send alerts. Hospitals lose access to patient digital records. Electronic health systems go dark. X-rays and MRI scans stored in the cloud would be inaccessible. Police can't access criminal databases. Firefighters can't coordinate. Ambulances can't use GPS navigation. And it's only been 15 to 30 minutes. And here's something most people don't realize. People are about to start dying within the next 30 to 60 minutes. This is grim, but it's real. Someone having a heart attack gets delayed treatment because the hospital's system is down. A diabetic can't access their insulin pump's app. A car crash happens, but the ambulance gets lost without GPS. By the end of hour 1, the realization sets in that this isn't a glitch. Something is very, very wrong. But the real chaos hasn't even started yet. Because when the sun rises and billions of people wake up, things are about to get much worse. The world wakes up. People wake up, reach for their phones, and realize the internet is gone. Now billions of people are realizing this at the same time. The financial collapse begins. Stock markets can't open, as trading is 100% digital now. Banks can't process transactions. ATMs stop working because they need internet connection to verify your account. Credit cards don't work. Digital payment systems like Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay don't work too. Within hours, cash becomes the only currency, and most people don't carry cash anymore. And here's where it gets really bad. Because without banks and credit cards working, the entire supply chain is about to break down. Stores can't process sales. Gas stations can't pump gas because some of the pumps need authorization. Even if you have cash, many registers won't open without their system. The global economy just paused. Now, the supply chain breakdown. Here's something most people don't think about. Some trucks, ships, and planes rely on internet-based logistics. Delivery drivers can't get routes. Warehouse systems can't coordinate inventory. Shipping containers sit at ports with no way to process them. Supermarkets start running out of fresh food within 24 hours. Not because there's no food, but because there's no way to transport it easily. But it's not just food that's disappearing. Communication is about to completely break down. Remember, most modern communication requires the internet. Email is gone, messaging apps are gone. Even phone calls start failing as cell towers get overloaded. Businesses can't operate. Employees can't work from home. Zoom meetings, Slack will be dead. Cloud storage will be inaccessible. Every company that exists primarily online, like Google, Facebook, Netflix, Spotify, will vanish. Billions of dollars of market value gone in a day. And the panic buying begins. By midday, people start panic buying, but they can't use cards, so they're fighting over cash. Stores are being emptied. Gas stations run dry. Grocery stores are stripped bare. And because supply chains are broken, nothing is getting restocked. By the end of day 1, society is in freefall. But this is only the beginning. Because when the internet stays down for a week, modern civilization starts to unravel in ways no one prepared for. And what happens next is absolutely terrifying. Day 2 to 7, the breakdown of order. Let's fast forward through the worst week in modern history. In day 2, power grids start failing. Some power grids rely on internet connectivity to balance load and prevent outages. Without the internet, grid operators are flying blind. They can't coordinate between power plants. They can't predict demand. And they can't reroute power. Rolling blackouts start Some areas lose power entirely, and without power, you also lose water, because water treatment plants need electricity, an internet connection to operate. So now, in addition to no internet, parts of the world have no power and no clean water. And just when you think it can't get worse, the food crisis hits, and it's brutal. In day 3 to 4, the food crisis begins. Remember, supply chains are dead, supermarkets are empty, and now people are getting hungry. In cities, where people rely entirely on food being delivered, starvation becomes a real threat. Rural areas do better because they have farms, wells, and community resources. But there's one thing that's even worse than the food crisis, and it's happening in hospitals right now. In day 5, we see the medical catastrophe. Hospitals are in crisis. They've been running on backup systems, but those are failing. People with chronic conditions start dying because they can't get medication. Pharmacies can't process prescriptions without their systems. Surgeries are canceled. Life support machines fail. The medical system, which was already strained, completely collapses. And now, governments themselves start to break down. What happens next is the collapse of order itself. Around day 6 to 7, the government breakdown begins. Governments try to maintain order, but they're fighting with Stone Age tools. The military can still operate as they have independent communication systems, but civilian government, paralyzed. Some laws can't be enforced. Most courts can't operate. Social services vanish. Some governments declare martial law while others collapse entirely. By the end of week 1, the world has been sent back 100 years. But unlike 100 years ago, modern people don't have the skills to survive without technology. We don't know how to farm. We don't know how to find water. We don't know how to live without the internet. So that's 1 week. But what if it stays down? What if this is permanent? Let me explain what the world looks like 1 year later. Let's say the internet never comes back. The population collapse. This is dark, but it's realistic. Without modern infrastructure, billions of people die. Cities empty out. The elderly and sick die first. Then, people without survival skills. Starvation, disease, violence. The death toll is unimaginable. The global population, which is 8 billion now, could drop to 6 billion within a year. Maybe less. The survivors are the ones who adapt. Rural communities. People with practical skills. Those who can grow food, find water, and defend themselves. But it's not just the population that collapses. The entire economy goes back to the Stone Age. Money, as we know it, is worthless. We return to barter economies. Trade goods directly. Gold and silver become more valuable again because they're physical and universally recognized. Local communities form their own currencies. And here's something that'll blow your mind. All the knowledge stored online, it's gone forever. Without the internet, we lose access to cloud-stored knowledge. Millions of books, research papers, medical studies will be gone. People start printing and hoarding physical books. Libraries become the most valuable buildings in any community. Technology regresses to what we had in the 1980s. Landline phones work if the infrastructure is maintained. Radio and TV broadcasts continue, but they're local and limited. Computers still exist, but without the internet, they're just expensive typewriters. So could this actually happen? Let me explain the scenarios. Unfortunately, there are several ways the internet could actually go down. Let me explain the most likely scenario, which is a massive cyber attack. Imagine a coordinated attack by a hostile nation or hacker group. They target the root DNS servers. If those go down, domain names stop working. You can't type google.com and reach Google. The internet becomes a maze with no map. Or they target undersea cables. 99% of international internet traffic travels through physical cables on the ocean floor. There are about 400 of them. Cut enough of them and continents get disconnected. Is this likely? Experts say it's possible. Countries like Russia and China have the capability. It wouldn't shut down the internet forever, but it could cause weeks or months of outage. And we've just seen what 1 week would do. The bottom line is, could the internet shut down forever? Probably not. Humanity would rebuild it eventually. But could it go down for weeks, months, or even years? Yes, absolutely. And given how dependent we are, even a month without internet would be catastrophic. The internet has existed for about 30 years. That's nothing in human history. We lived for 200,000 years without it. I'm Joe. Thanks for watching. And remember, the internet isn't permanent, but your subscription is.